Hi, welcome to the Hardcastle Gallery here in Centerville. I'm with Mike Brock, the owner. Mike, how are you?
Fine. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Tell us a little bit about this, right, what we're doing here today, but there's so much more to this gallery than that.
Well, this gallery has a lot of history to it. I mean, we've framed for the Wyeths and a lot of artists around here, but what we're doing is something a little bit different. We've got photographers from the region, and they're coming in from maybe 30-35 miles area, which I consider regional, and we're basically right in our own backyard, and 6 different artists, and they bring a lot of different styles to our show.
We were talking before we actually got on camera, and you were telling me a little of the history of the building. It used to be a slaughterhouse.
Yes. Yeah, turn of the century, I believe, Mr. Frederick, whose family owned this, and he goes way back. His family, I think, goes back to the 1600s. It used to be a slaughterhouse here. You could buy your chickens and your eggs and your sausage right out front here. And he still lives right down the way here. Right. And he actually, this area's got a lot of character to it. He actually lets his lawn be used as a fly fishing school for the fly fishing people back here. So it's really interesting, and he's still around. He comes around every once in a while, but it was a slaughterhouse, and you could get sausage and hogs or whatever you want here.
I'll let you do the actual address. We're right before Buckley's, right as you come into Centerville. The actual address is?
5714 Kennett Pike.
Okay.
Just look for the sign that says Frederick's Country Center.
Right, and do you have a website for people to look at?
Yes, we do. It's hardcastlegallery.com.
Okay. Now let's talk about the artists that we have here, because there is some beautiful paintings here. And we were also talking before that it's not like you'd see milk cans and cows and brick rock buildings. It's different.
Right. This is a little bit more cosmopolitan, and we try not to get that way too often. We know what our niche is, and it's the regional artists, and you don't have to go very far. The artists are wonderful, but this was something a little bit different, and you'll see, you'll meet Jim Graham, and he's done a lot to help us out to put this show together. But they're all from, maybe 30 miles away, not too far away. That's what we call a region, and wonderful, wonderful artwork. And these guys, they pay their dues. They go out to these sites, whether it's the Antarctica or Iceland or wherever, and get bit by mosquitoes or freeze their butts off.
Right. Now, you also said this is not your only gallery. You have one in Newark, I believe?
We do have one in Newark, right. It's down at Pomeroy Station, which is behind the Newark Shopping Center, about 2,200 square feet, and we do basically the same type of artwork that we have here.
Before we go, I want everybody out there to know that you actually do art restoration. You do framing for everybody.
We do everything. My other hat is as an artist also, so I can relate to the artist. But if you want your original artwork, your treasures or whatever redone, we do all that framing. We install in residences and businesses, and we reframe everything A to Z.
Very good. Thank you so much, Mike, for letting us in. You guys, this goes until the 27th of April, so get up here and take a look at something, because you're sure to like something here. There's something for everybody. All right, I'm here with Steve Boyden. He's one of the local exhibitors, one of the artists, if you will.
Hi Kevin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So, this is really nice. I like this. This is a bunch of local people. We were just talking with Mike, who owns the gallery, and he's saying that he gave you guys all a shot to exhibit.
Well, he said, look, come and be in this show. We're calling it Close to the Edge. And that was all the instruction we got. So each of us was encouraged to give up to 12 pictures into this show. And we all thought about it, and every one of us came to a different conclusion about what Close to the Edge was about.
Nice.
So, I mean, you could do everything. Mine go from out in Utah to Argentina to New Zealand and to Death Valley. Right. So all over the map, literally.
Literally, yeah. I also understand we have people from Iceland and Africa and everywhere.
Yep. This is really a globe-spanning show with very little instruction from anybody. So it's cool because we all had real radically different ideas about how to interpret what the name of the show is.
Right.
So it's good.
And all these works are for sale. I'd like to point that out because I missed that in the first segment. But
absolutely, they're for sale.
Yeah. And everybody should come get one.
Yeah. I'm surprised Mike didn't mention that as the gallery owner.
I know. Well, he's never done an interview, he said before, so he was a little shy.
All right.
And I probably didn't ask.
Well, just like we were painters or sculptors, we're artists. We just use a camera. And so these aren't just snapshots of our vacation.
Right.
These are meant to be kind of our interpretations of these locales in Earth, distant, some of them inhospitable, but we make them look, kind of attractive, and by the way we use the camera.
So very nicely put.
Thank you.
Very nicely put. All right, this is one. We're going to talk to some more Mr. Steve Boyden. Come by his things. We're going to talk to a bunch of other artists as well. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thanks. Okay, I'm now with Jim Graham. Jim, how are you, sir?
Pleasure, Kevin. Nice to see you.
Nice to see
Thank
you.
you for coming tonight.
Thank you. Now, not only are you exhibiting, but you also were integral in actually arranging the whole soiree, right?
Yes. My job was sort of to pull the different artists together to make sure that we had more of a cohesive group in terms of our theme and in terms of our imagery.
Right. Now, the theme, I understand, is On the Edge.
It's called Close to the Edge.
Close to the Edge.
And we're all dealing essentially with the sort of the difference between of the water line between the water and the ocean or the land, but you could also use close to the edge as a metaphor. If you look around, there's a lot of ice here,
Right.
and so we're dealing in terms of landscape and conservation ideas. And if you think about it, with the amount of ice melt that we have in the world today, we're close to the edge. We're close to that tilting point of that ice going away. So we're recording something that we may not see eventually.
Wow, I never took it that far.
Any good image, if it's a painting, if it's a photograph, has great metaphor in it.
Yes.
It's a narrative.
Yes.
We're visual communicators. Our jobs are, whether we're painters or photographers or whatever type of an artist, is to communicate different ideas. And when you start to look at many of these images, that's what they're doing.
Yes, I like that. I feel bad now that I was just looking at him saying, oh, what a pretty photo, or, like, that's a great, like, nice composition, but I never actually looked for a deeper meaning to it.
Well, and many times people don't, because they think, well, I've got a camera, I can accomplish that, I can do that. Half the time I'm willing to challenge them on that.
Right.
But the idea, if you're an artist, and we're trying to take photography into it as an art form, that's what you have to do as a visual communicator. You're trying to give metaphor, you're trying to give story, you're trying to take it beyond just it's a picture.
Right.
Because it is more than just a picture.
And it truly is. And it is. I'm going to go re-look at the ones I've already looked at with a different eye now. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Anytime.
All right, now we're with Alessandra Manzotti? Manzotti. I can't say it with an accent. I apologize.
Okay, just okay.
Now, I understand you're the only female exhibitor?
I sure am, and it's an honor, and I'm very excited. This is fabulous. I love it.
Yes, I was looking at your photos. I love them. I don't know if you're allowed to call them photos when they're framed in an exhibit,
Yes,
but
yes.
your pictures.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about what it is that gets you going and how you get what you're looking for in the camera's lens.
99% of the time, I'm very instinctual. Like, it just has to grab me. Like, a lot of times I go out with an intention of shooting certain things, and then something else will grab me. And so I would love to say there's a lot of planning, but realistically, sometimes the planning goes out the window. So I sort of like an adjusting to things. I shoot things that really sort of, to me, tell a story.
Right.
And I shoot for myself. Okay. So I don't have a client in mind. I don't have like the concept of, oh, will this sell or not sell? Like, generally, I just shoot for myself.
Okay. Do you prefer black and white?
Yes,
or color?
yes. Black and white. I have never shot film in my whole life, but I really try with my digital to sort of reproduce the feeling of film. So my processing, it's mostly dodging and burning, which is the traditional, like in the dark room, dodging and burning with chemicals and darkening, lighting certain areas. So that's pretty much what I do with the computer. There's very little done. There's not a lot of manipulation. Compositionally, what I see is what you see in the picture.
Okay.
So.
Now, see, that was interesting. I didn't.
Saves me a lot of time. Saves me a lot of time. Yes, yes.
So, I guess, what kind of program do you use?
I use Silver Effects Pro.
Okay.
Which is fantastic. I love it. It gives me a lot of freedom. I can just, I'll spend hour, like on this image, for example, I've spent like probably 6 or 7 hours just really lightening, brightening certain areas, and to get it to the point where I really felt comfortable. A lot of my stuff has like a lot of drama. I think I'm a little dramatic. I'm Italian, so of course. No, but it's I like dark skies, a lot of clouds. I don't.
Contrast.
Yes, yes, moodiness.
And you can catch that in all your shots.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Well, good luck with the
Thank
exhibit.
you very much.
Thank you very
so
much.
And enjoy.
We will. All right.
you.
We'll be back.
Thank you.